we have an interesting story here. It's actually in the same vein of one that I covered not too long ago. And when these activist movements and moments, they start to clash because unfortunately, or depending on what way you look at it, fortunately maybe, but you look at these groups, these advocacy groups, and the left has done giving them credit, a phenomenal job of just lumping everybody together as if their gripes are the same, as if their wishes, their hopes, desires, even in their own advocacy, as if they are the same exact thing. And that has been going to prove to be a mistake going into the future. And we're seeing more and more examples of this. I'm covering this from The Blaze. Alex, pro-LGBT advocacy group hit with blowback for Juneteenth tweet claiming our fight for equality is synonymous with the fight for Black freedom. And this isn't new. They've done this before, but now I think, again, it's finally starting to have a little blowback in which you've had these groups. I was trying to remember the other story. I was trying to talk myself through it. The other story they were recently covered was the guy who is a realtor, and I guess he's trying to, well, what he did is bought some other properties and he's basically selling them to people that are in Texas that are among the LGBT. And they called it what they said, Rainbow Underground Railroad or something. Oh my God, that is insane. But anyway, in a Monday tweet, marking the Juneteenth holiday, the Human Rights Campaign, a pro-LGBT advocacy group, asserted that there's a parallel between LGBT movement and the fight for Black freedom. They, of course, had their thing to say. However, it sparked blowback. Right, because my ancestors were toiling away on the fields dreaming of freedom, the prominent thought in their mind were that whip might hurt, but it doesn't hurt anywhere as badly as LGBTQ plus oppression. He's saying that in a snarky way. And that, by the way, is Delano. He does a lot of stuff as well with Blaze and Jonathan Whitlock as well. Critical theory on display. Everything ties back to pushing Marxism. The issue is not the issue. Minorities are just pawns in a cynical agenda. That is very, very true. Very, very true, by the way. And you've seen a little more of this, even from leftists that are among these actual groups, where it would be the fist in the air pro-Black types, or it's again, members of the LGBT, where they're conflating the two. And again, it's like the term, they use it as a catch-all, where the term POC is one of the dumbest terms, but they use it basically to describe anyone that's just not white. And then they try to lump those causes as if everybody's the same, as if Asian people or people that are in Asia in itself has different types of people, but as if they're the same as folks from Africa. It's it's not even remotely the same. This is the issue with Marxism. This is the issue with leftism in general. And when I see, and some of these guys aren't leftists, but the ones that certainly are leftists that are getting bent out of shape, and you can argue rightfully so, as folks try to conflate what the LGBT has experienced versus what your parents maybe experienced in during the civil rights era, or what your grandparents did, or what your great grandparents may have had to experience between slavery and black codes and Jim Crow laws and all of that stuff. Yeah, it's a little different. Also, you can't really hide there's no coming out of the closet being Black. You know what I'm saying? It's just a thing people kind of notice right away. They aren't the same, and the experience wasn't anything remotely the same. It's not to say that certain areas and definitely pockets of the world have punished it physically, even with death. Some of those, but definitely in America, it's night and day. Let's say that. So when I do see these leftists, I just say, let them fight. I'm not getting in the way when they sit up here and argue with each other over who's the most oppressed. I think them working that out is to everybody's benefit, because now you'll see just how stupid everybody is as you try to put everything together and lump everything together. And really what you've allowed to happen is different folks hijack your entire movement and then use it for their own benefit and their own gain. So with that being said, let them fight. If you enjoyed this video and want to support other content, please become a member at ericdjuly.com.
This is my own unique platform that replaced my Patreon. Our Ultramax, which is our highest tier, gets free shipping domestically even with Rippaverse orders and are able to redeem the Creators Edition copy of ISOM #1. You can move up and down tiers or cancel at any time. Also visit Rippaverse.com. This is my comic book company that launched a $3.7 million campaign. We appreciate your support.